Hi guys, welcome back to RJ Scale Ships and Replicas. In today's video I'm going to show you how I make the hanks. Hanks are the remainder of the line that is usually tied up on things like mast racks, etc., around the belaying pins. Okay, those nice lines that are all rolled up nice and tightly, as was seen on my recent build of the Mantua 154 scale command deck build. I'm getting lots of people asking how I do that. I can't remember who the last person was that asked me, but I did promise them I'm going to do a video. So here we go. This is how we do it. So on the bigger builds, you can literally bring your lines down from the masts, etc., tie off around the belaying pin, create a little loop a few times, okay, wrap the thread around the center of that loop, pull tight, usually finish off with a cow hitch, and you'll have a nice nice hank there. Now the easiest way to do it, so let's forget that for a moment, because that's very complicated and it can be very difficult, especially when the ship starts building up with lots of rigging. The easiest way to do it is to bring your line down to the mast rack, or any rack, okay, tie off onto the belaying pin, okay, and then cut the thread. That's the easiest way of doing it, okay. And then what we do is we make a separate hank off ship, and then once we've made them all, we then place them nice and tidily onto that belaying pin, okay, that you've just tied off the bit of rigging to, okay, and let it rest, and it'll look like the whole thing's in one place. Now, some people make jigs, which can be quite complex, and there's all different ways of doing it. Now, the way I do mine is I usually make a loop, okay, and then I wrap the last bit of that thread, of that loop, around the center, which gives you like a figure of 8 hank, okay, with a bit of thread in the middle. Now, to do this, most people will have the tools ready and available, okay. You're not going to use a jig, you're not going to set up any fancy jigs, you're just going to simply use what you've got at hand, okay. So let me show you what we're going to need, okay. Let's use a bit of this one. No, that's too small. Just bear with me. I'm just going to grab a piece of thread, which I seem to have. There we go, that'll do. That'll do. This will work. Okay, so obviously you have your thread. We're going to need that, okay. A pair of helping hands, okay, is a very, very good idea, and you'll see why in a second, okay, because this helps to hold things in place when you do the official tie-off, okay. And then you're going to need something of the diameter that you want for the hank, okay. So on my command deck, the perfect size for me was one of these paint pens, okay, simple paint pen, okay. For the smaller scales, you can use the handle of a hobby knife, okay, or even a paintbrush, okay, depending on the scale, okay. You'll work out what size you need, but in this case, okay, I was using a paint pen. Now, all we do is we gain a piece of thread. Again, this is something you'll work out how much you'll want, etc., as you go. Okay, so we just have a piece of thread. Okay, preferably exactly the same thread that you used for the rigging that's come down to your belaying pin. Okay, the last thing you want to do is use a different type of thread that's completely different colour and start. So try and keep it all the same. And then all we do is, using your thumb, we wrap it. Okay, leaving a fair bit off at the end. Okay, around the pen. That's it. And then all we do is very carefully slide it off, and there we have a loop. Okay, move that. Now, using the helping hands, you want to pinch one end of the loop, okay, and then the other end. So now you've got, let me bring that a bit closer as you can see. I hope you can see that. Okay, that's all you're doing. And then using this last piece of thread, you want to create, let me grab a pair of tweezers, go through the middle, under, through the loop, okay, hope you can see that, and just pull tight. That creates a cow hitch, okay? That just stops that bit from coming undone. And then all we're going to do, if you watch, we're going to pull up. This is on the bottom part, you can see. We're going to pull up and wrap it around. If you watch carefully. Okay, roughly about there. And then all I'm going to do, use a very, very tiny amount. Excuse me, I've got the lid in my mouth. Bear with me, I've got the lid in my mouth. Tiny dab of glue, super glue on that piece of thread underneath, and just wrap it round one more time to there. Just hold it for a few seconds. And that's it. From this point, all we do is cut off the excess piece of thread, pull out, and there is one hank, all nice and tidy. I haven't got one to hand, but just say that the top of these tweezers are the belaying pin. You know, we're just literally over the top of the belaying pin, like so, and then rest obviously down towards the deck. And that is basically how I achieve a simple hank. Okay, that's it. I hope you can see it well enough. If you can't, I do apologise. That is simply it. Okay, and I'll have some images at the end of this video that show you the finished product on my command deck. Usually, because the way thread reacts at scale, when you push this over a belaying pin and try and pull down towards the deck, it's always going to, if you watch my fingers, it's always going to try and lift back up, you see. So what you do is you just put a little bit of, tiny little bit of super glue on the edge of the mast rack, so that when you pull it down and pull the rope down, the back side of the centre that you've wrapped the rope around will stick to the edge of the mast rack and stop the thread from coming back up. Okay, and if you've made these right, if you've used the right diameter for you, you'll have to test it really. Do a few to test the size, but if you've done the right diameter, the rope should go down nicely, just touch the deck and rest on the deck nicely. And that's it. That's simply how we do it. I'm hoping you can really see this, but I'm not holding my breath. It's not brilliant, but I do apologise. I'm not very good at these videos. But there you go. That's how it's done. If you've got any more questions or anything else you want me to show you, by all means give me a shout. But in the meantime, carry on building, guys, and producing those amazing models. And I'll speak to you later, okay? Cheers, guys. Keep on building. Speak to you later. Bye.